Yeah.
Empire mixtapes, not for the weak-hearted.
Yep.
Holy sh! Where'd you find this?
Hey, Rockets fans, it's Kobe Tree here. Remember, like and subscribe if you have not already. Let's jump into this video real fast. I wanted to talk a little bit about DeMarcus Cousins and the fact that he was cut Saturday night. Now, Silas came out Sunday saying that was all rumors and speculations. Now, that being said, I still think they're going to part ways with DeMarcus Cousins. Now, I think the Rockets are in rebuild mode. They still need DeMarcus Cousins because they need to fill that void. They don't necessarily have a center that's capable of doing a lot of things right now since Christian Wood is out. He'll come back probably maybe 2 weeks max. Now, I think then the Rockets are going to make a decision to cut DeMarcus Cousins. It's for the best. Now, you have a player that's coming off of 3 major injuries back to back to back who's trying to prove himself on a rebuilding team. Why? Why? The Rockets have been more than willing to help DeMarcus Cousins, and DeMarcus Cousins has been willing to help the Rockets. Both parties have benefited in this situation. It's best that they do part ways, like I said. Now, you have a guy that, could come off the bench or even be that third backup center on a contender team, DeMarcus Cousins. Now, for the Rockets, he benefits the Rockets right now as this week, next week, that's it. I mean, once Christian Wood comes back, that's the big thing. When Christian Wood comes back, now how long is he going to be back? He's never played a full season. Now, that's why you value DeMarcus Cousins. Now, I'm glad they brought DeMarcus Cousins back because they paid him his full guaranteed contract. He was on a non-guaranteed contract, so they paid him in full. It was almost about $2 million. So then you part ways with him, kind of saying, thank you for your services. We're going to part ways with you. And, both parties walk their separate ways on good terms. Now, he came back. I'm glad he came back. The Rockets can't afford to lose DeMarcus Cousins, not right now. Now, in time, yes, they can. Once Christian Wood comes back, and if Justin Patton shows any potential, I don't necessarily know much about Justin Patton. Now, I watched his G League games. I even posted a video. Now, I don't necessarily know what he could do with a real, actual NBA playing minutes. I don't know what he's capable of. Now, the Rockets are leaning towards a rebuild mode. Now, they have to win tonight. If they could win maybe 2 or 3 in a row, you could definitely say, okay, this is the way they're going. But with the absence of Depot and Christian Wood and John Wall from game to game, it's very hard to say how good this team is or the direction they are going. Now, the Rockets have to bring up Kevin Porter Jr. He's a guy that has shown a lot of promise. Reminds me a lot of James Harden with the step back 3-point shots, the left-handed shooter, the way he drives. A lot of similarities between him and James Harden. But yeah, I think Kevin Porter Jr. is a player that you should bring up, and he'll be there. He's one of few players that will be there from game to game to game. There's not a lot of consistency on this team with players being available, back-to-backs, etc. Injuries, minute restrictions. But with Kevin Porter Jr., he can go out there and do his thing, and he could show you, hey, look, you can build around me. Now, I'm even skeptical. I'm even worried about Christian Wood. He hasn't played a full season ever. So right now, Kevin Porter Jr. is the only player that I see long-term with the Rockets. And I say that because Christian Wood, like I said, he hasn't played a full season ever. I know the numbers have been great, but let's see when he comes back and see what he's capable of. Like I said, injuries have already derailed him in his early start for the Rockets. And, there's been multiple injuries where he fell down on the court, but he's gotten back up. So I give him credit for that. But there has been also ankle injuries that have taken him out for multiple weeks. So I'm still sketchy about Christian Wood and the long-term situation, the fact that he will be the face of the franchise. Now, I think he could be the third star on this team if, it reaches that. Now, I do think the Rockets need to go in a slight rebuild mode. Now, if they're going to keep winning or losing, that's the difference. If they keep losing, then you have to go for that lottery pick. You really do. The fact that you have to have a face of the franchise. You don't have one right now. Some people would say John Wall, but he's not that. You want a face of the franchise for the next 10 years, and people will say Christian Wood. Well, Christian Wood's on a 2-year contract left after this year. KPJ is on a rookie contract, so you have to go out there and you have to find a superstar in the lottery, and then you could say I could build around him for the next 8 to 10 years, just like you did with James Harden. So, or if the fact that the Rockets still make a trade and get a young player and bring him on the team, and they could build a young nucleus, or a multiple nucleus of players that they could build around KPJ, Christian Wood, a lottery pick, and maybe let's just say Tyler Hero. I'm just going to say Tyler Hero. So, and then you still have John Wall and Jashawn, etc. So that's something that I could say, hey, look, I could go ahead and say, okay, I'm very happy that the Rockets are doing this. I understand the route they are going, but there's no direction for the Rockets and where they're going right now. Like I said, DeMarcus Cousins is a part of this team again, which is good for right now for the meantime. Like I said, I'll be going live at the game tonight at the Rockets versus Chicago Bulls, and I'll have a little gift. I'll go down to the Rockets gift shop, and I'll have a winner, and I'll try to buy them something. Okay, Kobe Tree out.